was born with the devil in me. Could not help the fact that I was a murderer, no more than the poet could help the inspiration to sing. I was born with the evil one, standing as my sponsor beside my bed, where I was ushered into this world, and he has been with me ever since.
Brother Harry! The door's locked!
With Emily, I knew I had three options. I could do nothing, let her die never knowing.
Brother Harry!
I could open the door, smile, let her know it was I.
Harry! Harry!
I could fill the room with gas, though unnecessary, let her know that her death was intentional. So,
The Chicago World's Fair. Would you say that was your greatest achievement?
The World's Fair. I would concur to say that was my greatest work, at least my most memorable. In but 6 months, it was host to nearly half of America. I couldn't imagine how many more would have been had we not ended it in fire. And yet, it is better to go up in flames at the height of existence than it is to slowly burn out. You see, 1893 was a changing time anyway. Though still over half a decade for the change of the century, modernism was being born in spirit. Nihilism, rebellion, revolution, all drafted into the thoughts of American citizens. The moral compasses were so drastically changed. Lizzie Borden, divorce, corruption, even in a lawless place like Chicago, the thirst for power and money was so shocking. For myself, John and I had made a name with the creation of My White City.
Would you say that the White City is why you wanted to be remembered?
I actually fought tooth and nail with the marketing department at Crown not to say anything about the Ferris wheel because of the way I presented it as this sort of secret thing that came out at the fair, but that's been so widely blown anyway that I don't care. I can talk about it. The thing, he had this idea, Ferris had this idea in his mind for a while, this idea of a revolving, essentially a revolving, a giant revolving wheel that people could actually ride in, and just bumping around his head. He was a steel inspection engineer from Pittsburgh who had the steel inspection contract for the World's Fair. I brought it to Burnham, and Burnham at first rejected it because it looked too deadly. I mean, it's this very elegant design, but it didn't look like it could withstand Chicago winds, anything. But after a point, Ferris won the concession from the World's Fair. He does almost mechanistically. This is sort of who he is. He doesn't have to think about being evil. He doesn't have to contrive to being evil. It's just what he does. I realized that I didn't want to do still a book about Holmes alone, nor did I want to do a book about the fair alone. But what struck me instantly is that the real story is the two stories together. I wouldn't have wanted to do either alone. It's just the two stories together. This almost miraculous, in a dark way, juxtaposition of this heroic act of civic goodwill, the World's Fair, and the effort to build it, the tremendous odds against effort to build it. And in the same place, at the same time, this killer using this fair to do his equally outstanding work at killing. It was just a marvelous juxtaposition, too perfect to ignore.